Okay, I now recognize Mr. Hultgren for 5 minutes.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Thank you all so much for being here. Grateful for your work and grateful for the opportunity for us to talk about the great work that NSF is doing and the really requirement that we must continue to fund and grow funding. I've had the chance to visit universities across the state of Illinois, have had the chance to work and see what NSF is doing there and other great places. I'll actually be at Northern Illinois University this Saturday with my STEM scholars. It's 30 young people from around the 7 counties that I represent that I meet with every single month, and wonderful group, incredibly bright, very excited to, out of the 30, almost 30, I think about 18 or 19 of them are young women, 10 or 11 are young men, so encouraged by that too, that we need everybody to be interested in science and STEM fields. But we're going to be traveling to NIU, where we are going to visit the Sub-Ice rover, which was used to explore Antarctica, as well as the STEM Maker Lab, and our group is going to be only the second group to use NIU's new laser cutters, which we're really excited about. I've had a good opportunity also through First Robotics to meet with some great young people in my area. Just a couple years ago, met with a young woman from my district who was able to earn a full ride scholarship to the University of Alabama in aerospace engineering. But one of her main concerns, as I've continued to visit with her and talk with her and learn from her, is for her to see peers who are very excited about STEM become discouraged and change degrees in their first few years of college. Bright young people who were so used to getting straight A's and now all of a sudden are getting B's and C's and decide this isn't for me. You know, since I'm not getting an A, I must need to switch to some other course. So I just wanted to check, Dr. Córdova, if maybe you could address what work is NSF doing to make sure that students going through these kinds of tough fields are able to maintain their passion and avoid washing out of these programs when maybe they aren't getting the A's that they were used to through high school.
I'm going to turn in just a moment to Dr. Farini Monday because she's very familiar with the research that we're actually doing in this area. But so let me just rewind to when I was a university president and really worried about that. And I was worried about what we called gateway courses that would you know, look to your left, look to your right. One of the people sitting there won't be there at the end of the semester, kind of thing. And so I think universities have a lot of responsibilities, and I think Dr. Zuber, being from MIT, will agree with me that ensuring that the instructors are actually motivating students to get through rather than weeding them out and screen. And I think there have been a lot of programs that universities are changing in this direction. We had in engineering at Purdue University, it's an engineering education whole department within that College of Engineering, which is huge, that is specifically trying to look at new methodologies for getting students through these kinds of courses, not just in engineering, but university-wide. And I think when I see the retention rates, and as a university president, I would look at the retention rates between the first and the second year. Yes. And we increased that from the kind of low levels you're describing to something like 97, 98% of students would continue on. So
that's great.
Things are improving.
I can't add a lot other than to say congratulations to you on your STEM scholars. That's a wonderful investment of time, I should think so. You know, a couple of other points, as Dr. Córdova mentions, it's those gateway courses that are quite critical for retention, and we are funding some interesting experiments in changing up the content of those courses, starting with the statistics or a quantitative reasoning kind of approach rather than always calculus, which is the tradition, and that's showing some terrific results, and a variety of other approaches to helping faculty improve their instruction so that they are inspiring students and strengthening K-12 education.
Yes, that's so important too. Let me jump on just in my last minute. Dr. Córdova, as you know, accelerator physics is a field where industry and even our DOE labs find a shortage of trained workers. We're only graduating about 15 PhDs a year. There are only a few universities that have accelerator physics programs to train these workers. Many of the students go out of their way to be able to get the schoolwork necessary to advance in these fields. We're fortunate with NIU being relatively close to Fermilab, having some opportunities there. Stanford has SLAC close by, which is great. But when a university is not near one of the national labs, many students actually have to take part in intense 2-week accelerator school programs every summer, where students come to one location to get their graduate level training. It's my understanding that NSF will be discontinuing their accelerator science program. It's a program that was started in 2014 to address the workforce shortage and ensure that the United States was maintaining their position at the forefront of this field. This has not been a large program by any means, but I think it is an important one for the field. I'm also concerned that broader physics grants will not take into account the need for basic scientific research in accelerator science. I wonder if, I'm already over time, but maybe we can follow up some more. But if you have a thought or two on this of what we can do to continue to see this as important and making sure that we have the people to fill these important roles.
I can just say that I agree with you. Accelerator physics is what inspired me to become a physicist. We are, of course, a big participant in the CERN Accelerator Physics program, as you've seen at Fermilab, because we've seen each other there on tour, that we are funding a lot of research there. Stanford University, of course, in their efforts. And I'll follow up on the details of the Accelerator Science program.
Thank you so much. Thank you all. Thank you, Chairwoman. I'll yield back.
Thank you. And I